Hi everyone, my name is Devang and welcome back to another video. So in the previous video we saw what was stack and how do we implement, no, not implementation, but what is stack, how does stack works, and what are the various functions of stack. And in this particular video we will be focusing on implementation of stack. Although we have a stack STL in the C++ library such as stack, we can use it like this, int s. It will create an empty stack of integers for us and we can use push and pop operations upon it. But we will focus to implement stack from minimal things, right, such as only one or two the practical data structures, because it does not have this kind of a data structure. Like we cannot implement stack using like as such, this is the RAM, we cannot implement stack in this manner. We have to use either array or linked list, right? So we will use minimal things to implement the stack, and we will also see how to how the various functions of the STL work when we will implement this. Okay, so before proceeding any further, let's talk about Newton School. So what is Newton School? Newton School is basically a platform from where you can learn anything or any skill for free, and zero fee until you are placed. Okay, zero fee until you are placed. And the main part is that they have advanced teachers to teach you from IIT and NIT, and you get a lot of good skills, such as they have a package of 6-month web development, in which you will learn all the things about web development and how this works and all that, and you will become a trained person who is ready to go in the companies. And they also have a tie-up with among many companies such as Unacademy and Snapdeal, and you get the assured package of 5 lakh to 40 lakh CTC. Okay, so make sure that you go and check out the website. And this course was only possible because of the Newton School Initiative Launchpad. What is Launchpad? Launchpad, as I said earlier, is an initiative taken up by Newton School to make India developer powerhouse of the world. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, and in this there is no, this is different from this, there is no cost for the courses which you are going to do in the Launchpad sections. If you do this particular course from the Launchpad section also, you will get a certificate of completion and all the just a minute. Okay, and all the courses and the exercises of this particular course will be available under the Launchpad section, so make sure that you also check out that. Okay, now let's discuss how can we implement stack, how can we implement our own stack. Now this can be done via array, via vector, via linked list. Okay, so anything can be used to represent the array. Let me just okay, via array, via linked list, or this can be done. Okay, but we will try to follow the old school method and implement through array, because it will require less of the external like we have to lessly include the libraries, and we will just use one operations to perform this. Okay, now as I said in the earlier video, stack has these functions. What does the stack have? First we have to push, another one is pop, then we have NQ, oh sorry, not NQ, just a minute, then we have top, right, and then we have is empty or is full or is empty. These functions we have, right? We will try to implement these functions with the help of an array. Now imagine array like this, like this is the array, imagine array, this is the array, right? Yeah, this is the array. Now we want to implement array, we want to implement stack through array, so we want we need to keep a record of this top element, we need to keep a record of this. Then we have to check, we have to define its size as well, like this is our particular, this is our member, this is basically our data structure, or you can call it as a member upon which we have to deal the following methods. Like these following methods need to be implemented upon this member or this data structure. So this kind of a relationship can be implemented via classes where we have a data member, and we have methods. So this kind of implementation can be done with the help of a classes very usefully. Now before going to the code part, let me explain you like how I will do this. I will take a stack over here. Like I will take an array. Initially size of the array is n, and my top is equals to -1. I will use this variable, and I will say that initially my top is equals to -1. Now when I will insert the element, there could be a possibility that my array is full. So if the array is full, it should output overflow. So this is tag overflow. Like if my size of the array is full, it should output overflow. Okay, and if its size is not, then I have to increment my top and add that, because the insertion in array, like insertion in stack now became my insertion in array. So how would I insert an element in the array? Via indexes. So that will I will do. I will just put my top initially here. I have indexes of array to 0 to n minus 1 if my size of the array is n. Now when I am asked to push 10, I am asked to push 10, what I will do, I will increment top plus plus, then array of top is equals to 10. This is the condition when it has passed the condition of overflow, passed the check / condition of overflow. Then I am doing this. Okay, so here I will just put 10 over here, and my now top points over here. Correct. Now I am asked to push 20. So what I will do, I will again check the condition like overflow happened or not. Then I will do top plus plus. So just a minute. Top plus plus. So my top will come here, and array of top is equals to 20. So here I will put 20. So that's like this my array would propagate. Now my query is cout array dot top. This is my query. Actually not array dot top. My query would be s dot top, where s is the name of my stack which I have initialized from the class. So to implement this, I am keeping the record of the top element. So I will simply say here I will return top element, array of top, return array of top. This I will do over here. Okay, now when this is implemented, there is another function which needs to be implemented, which is pop. Pop does not take any parameter, it just says that I have to delete this element. Now understand this. If let's say I'm calling this function pop, I say ki if top is not equals to -1, like my array is already not empty, my array is already not empty. Like it could happen like my array is empty and the user is again calling pop function. So if this condition is there, then we should cout underflow. Let me write over here underflow. This should be done if my top is not equal, sorry, top is equal to -1. Top is equal to -1. This should be the condition. Okay. Now if this is not met, then what I can do, I can just top is equals to top -1. I can do this. Top is equals to top -1. So I will bring my top element to here. This is not deleted yet. This is not deleted. The element is not deleted. The element is still in the stack. But I have brought my top one position back. So why this will help? Like, and the next time I will call push, it will increment, let's say 30. It will increment top plus plus. So top would come over here, and array of top is equals to 30. So I will override the value over here. I will override the value over here. I will override the value over here. In this way, I am just putting my top to the back pointer, top pointer to the back, and just doing the work, right? Now another function like is empty and is fill, we will see like in the next some of the few time. But you can see that top element accessing is big O of 1, pop is big O of 1, push is big O of 1. So we are kind of doing the work in big O of 1 time. Okay, now let's think about the another two function, which is bool is empty. Bool is empty. It would check if my stack is empty or not. For that I can check if top is equal to -1. If top is equal to -1, then print empty. Okay, then return true or false basically. So another function is bool is full. This condition, if this condition meets, like if top is equal to size -1. Why size -1? As I already said in many videos, key if array size is n, then indexing would be from 0 to n-1. This is the condition. Okay, now we have analyzed like how we can proceed. Just a minute, how we can proceed. We have just let me just make a line over here. Okay, yeah, okay. Now we know that how we will proceed, what data structure we will use. So we will use array. We are using array. Now I want to make sure that you know, like I will be using the dynamic array. The dynamic array. Why dynamic array? Basically dynamic array means I will do this kind of a thing. Integer pointer array is equals to new integer of size n. Why I am doing this kind of when I can do int array of n? Now this is the compiler dependent decision. This is compiler dependent decision. Compiler dependent decision. Why this is compiler dependent decision? Because this kind of a thing, when the size of the array is input, size of the array is input, size of the array is given as input, okay. When this kind of a thing happens, this is helpful in GNU compilers. Like GNU compiler allows you to do this work, but if you are using some kind of a old compiler, this thing would not work. As I told in the earlier videos, like when the program runs, a stack space is occupied in the RAM and a heap space is occupied. Like stack is the space which is the preoccupied according to your sizes of the various data structures, and that the stack space is occupied. And if the size of the array is not known at the time of the compilation, it would create an error, because let's say it occupied the memory of 10 bytes, hypothetical 10 bytes, and you put it the array size to be like 100, and it is going out of the 10 bytes. So it would create a problem. So for that we would use old school method. I would recommend all to revise the old school methods one, because they are the basics one. In Python there is nothing like this. You cannot clear your concepts via Python. So I would recommend to use this. In this is a pointer. Let me explain you this. This is a very good concept. This is basically denoting integer pointer. This is basically denoting integer pointer. This is the name of the integer pointer. Name of integer pointer. This is basically keyword, new keyword. The new keyword, just make the notes of this. The new keyword helps to allocate memory in heap. Okay, so the new keyword helps to allocate memory in heap. Then we have integer, and then we have n. It means array of integers. So this I will using in the class. there would be one element which would be known as top, and there would be element which is known as size. So in this way we will implement the our stack class. The code we will see in next video. I hope that you understood the concept. Till then, if you have any doubt, make sure to comment it out. Okay, let's just, oh yeah, so make sure to comment it out if you have any doubt, and yeah, also check out the Launchpad section for more of the stuff. Okay, thank you.